Hi folks, Mel here. I am going to come and share with you today one of the projects that I'm creating for my Operation Valentine's 2017. Last year I had made about 50 of these cards, different obviously than what I'm showing you today, but the point of it was I made paper airplanes that the children, boy or girl, could take off the card and actually play with in the hospital, and they were a hit. So this year my goal is to make 100 of them. Because, you know, there are a little more boys than girls this year, so of course not all of them are able-bodied children, but girls liked playing with these too, and I thought I'll just make double what I made last year. So this year I made them quite different. Last year I put the paper airplane on the top of the card and with repositionable dots, so I could just rip them off and play with them, but they were still falling off because of the heat and then the cold and things of that nature. So this year I decided to change it up. I will not show you how I made the card itself because anybody can make their card the way that they want, but I will show you how to make the paper airplane. I do know they exist, but this was taught to me by my Uncle Dan, who has passed away from cancer, and I remembered him showing me this paper airplane, and his specific words were, "This is the fastest plane that can go the furthest distance out of any paper airplane," and it just stuck with me. So last year when he was already passed, that's what gave me the inspiration to make these for the children, because he just loved them and I knew the kids would too. So I will share with you the card, and then I will share with you how to make the paper airplane if you want to make some for your kids or have the girls and boys make them for their friends in class. So the front of the card, of course, I just used this stamp I got at the they're $2 spot at Michael's now. And I just colored it up a little bit and just put it on some plain paper. When you open it up, of course, there's the paper airplane. I just made a pocket here that matched this just to put the paper airplane into so it was a little more secure. The top stamp here is the Target stamp that I picked up. And then, of course, this came from Michael's last year, Be My Valentine. So this is the paper airplane. And it actually is really fast. And at first when, I've seen lots of paper airplanes, but this really is probably the fastest paper airplane. I mean, believe it or not, my dad and I have been downstairs throwing them back and forth. It's pretty funny. So that is the paper airplane. Now, how we are going to do this is you're going to get just a basic 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I'm going to use a double-sided piece here. And what I like to do is I actually like to just cut it in half. So sometimes if you don't have a cutter, you can just fold it in half and then cut. But I'm just going to cut this in half because we want them small enough to fit on an A2 size card. So just cut it in half like this. And if you want this pattern on the front or this pattern on the front, depending on which pattern. So I want this pattern on the front, so I'm going to fold it just like this. I should get my bone folder out, but I think I'm a little too late in the game and I don't want to re-video. So that's how you do this. Okay, you want to open this up, and of course you want to fold inward just like you're making a regular paper airplane. So fold that side and then fold this side down. So it makes a pointy tip. Very important. Make it face you. So now that you've got this, face it to you, and I want you to fold upwards along that crease. Fold it right directly through the center so the fold lines are, these fold lines match with those fold lines, and crease. Then my uncle, when I was little, of course he's funny, my fingers weren't so big, so he made me use my thumb as a spacer. So see where the score line is, put your thumb to the left of it, bring this corner up and fold to that center line, the tip to the center. So this tip to that fold line with your thumb right there. So that gives you that spacer. So you should have a little bit of space here. Do you see how you have that space there? And you want to do the same thing on the other side, matching, so those two pieces line up right there. I hope I'm still in frame. Okay, I am. So now it should look like this. Now, with this flap right here, I want you to fold that down. Just fold it down and really give it a good crease. I'm using thicker paper than construction paper, so it could be a little bit more difficult. So crease that down. Now that you've got it like this, then you want to fold it this direction. Just like so. Recrease, refold, make sure everything's down really, really, really good. Just want to make sure I'm using what little nails I have. So now it looks like this. Now you want to take this right here and you want to fold. See where it's flat here and then it starts to curve? You want to fold this down to where this is actually flat. So to look like this, can you see where it's got the crease in the crease? You want to fold it towards flush like that. So the wing is flush until it starts to curve outward. Fold and crease. Do the other side the same way. Again, make sure that this folds flat, and then you crease. And now your paper airplane should look like this. It looks like a little stealth bomber. It's pretty fancy. Now, you do not have to do this, but I did. I just took a little heart punch with some corresponding solid color cardstock. In this case, I'm using the baby blue. And I just took my glue, not my favorite glue. I don't want to use my favorite glue. I love my art glitter glue, but I'll be using Tombow today. So what I did was I just took this heart and I put it right here in the center of this and just held it down until it dries. And that just keeps the paper airplane together so it doesn't fall, break open. And once that dries, then you can actually fold it to where it sits flat. And they can still take it out of this pocket if that's how you choose to adhere it to your card. But it still can go in the pocket and be flat so the card can fold. Now it will stick out a little bit, but that is okay. I think that, like the kids at the hospital aren't going to mind if it sticks out a little bit. They're just going to be excited about paper airplanes. I guess they were all over the hospital and they had so much fun with these. Some of the kids that, couldn't leave their rooms were able to have these to play with. So super fun. So this is just one of the card ideas if you wish to follow. I think it's amazing. Paper airplanes really aren't that hard, but how much fun. Especially for a little boy or a girl to sit and make paper airplanes for their friends. And even my dad said when he was a kid, he would have loved to have gotten a homemade paper airplane from a girl or a friend at school. So super cute, folks. Just wanted to share that with you today. I will title it Love is in the Air, obviously, for Operation Valentine's. This is one of the many tutorials I'm starting to do. I'm very nervous about doing them, but I'm trying to ease myself into it. So thanks for watching, folks, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend.